It's true, we are fools.
It's really weird that we live in a recession. Chile could go in here.
So the European livestock system at the moment relies on the import of 40 million tons of soy from South America every year, where it's produced.
I've been campaigning on the issue of food waste for several years, and eventually I got round to writing the book Waste Uncovering the Global Food Scandal. And here in Trafalgar Square, I launched the first Feeding the 5,000, where we fed 5,000 people all on food that would have been wasted. Obviously, the main priority as food waste campaigners is to avoid food waste arising in the first place. But when food waste does arise, the question then is, what's the next best thing to do with it? And the answer to that question is to feed it to livestock and recycle it back into food. And that's what the pig idea is about. Where the law allows, we should be doing it now. But at the moment, there is European legislation in place preventing a lot of food waste from going to livestock.
And really, we should be down at Parliament saying, change this stupid law.
In my book, I calculated that around a third of the world's food supply was being wasted, and that figure is now being recalculated and endorsed by the United Nations and the European Commission. A third of the world's food is being wasted. Originally, I became aware of the global food waste scandal when I was 15 and I bought my first pigs. And I was feeding them on food waste from my school kitchen, from the local baker, from a greengrocer, and also from a farmer who was throwing away potatoes that were the wrong shape or size for supermarkets. And my pigs were great. They turned that into pork. I sold the pork to my school friends' parents. It was delicious, and it made me some pocket money. But I soon realised that most of the food that I was feeding to my pigs was actually fit for human consumption, and we were hemorrhaging out food at every link in the supply chain. And that if we wanted to create a sustainable food supply chain that would guarantee to future generations a planet that would continue to be able to be as abundant as it is now, we had to stop wasting this precious resource.
What's great about Feeding the 5,000 is the gleaning, which is just basically like large-scale freeganism. So there's the legitimate act of asking farmers, can we come to your farm, can we save all this food that's going to go to waste? And they say yes, and it legitimizes this act which is usually so looked down upon.
Freeganism is a name that people give to the practice of taking food out of bins and eating it. And I myself have been doing that now for longer than I care to remember. In fact, my first act of what you can call freeganism was back when I was a teenager and I was giving bread to my pigs and I ate that bread myself. And that became for me a political statement to say the injustice of food waste is something that we all need to address.
Yellow.
Hot. No hot. Yeah, a lot. You'd have so much food.
So much food.
The cold is that perfect surprise. Yellow.
I decided to make Heron a hat to look like stuff in from the Moomins because he reminds me of that character.
I'm really excited for my hat.
Yeah.
Before.
I'm Judith and I am a freegan.
But because it's
Before.
I don't know. I mean, it's each their own.
The land.
This is Freegan Vegan Apple and Mixed Fruit Crumble. We are going to go doing some bin raiding.
Before.
Freeganism is a reaction against wastage in general.
I keep the shirt let it be as it is.
I think from working in Boots and just seeing the amount of food they throw away, it's weird because I'm the one who throws the food out because I'm forced to, like I just lose my job straight away. Obviously I don't like doing it, but at least by going out and doing some freaking, I feel like I'm at least contributing a little bit back into that.
Repulsion, a lot of repulsion, yeah. And my brother yesterday was really freaked out and he thought it was a money thing. He was like, you have enough money to buy food, but it's not really about the money for me.
I put it straight on Facebook just to like show everyone like how ridiculous it was. A few people said that's a bit gross, but then like one of my housemates said it was gross. Like then the next day when I brought home a milkshake and chicken sandwich which I found in a bin, she ate straight away.
My mum doesn't know, I wouldn't tell my mum.
But even if it's completely packaged in a bag, they still think it's in a bin. If they see it, they realise it's actually completely fine.
Half an hour ago, it would have been on the shelf in the reduced section.
I've got shortbread that goes off in like April of 2014.
I think you need to do it to like realise what it is.
I can actually smell
It's like a whole black bag full of. I've heard of places that like lock their bins or who put like poison on the food.
Poison, bleach on their food.
Like some shops really don't like doing it.
I don't know, I can't think of why they'd lock them.
I keep
Chicken curry. Oh my god, strawberries. Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
let it be as it is.
She's like,
Cause it brings the smell that takes me closer to her.
Like me having a sandwich isn't going to impact like global food wastage, and it's not going to impact people who like actually really need food. I think it would be much better if it was organised by the shops themselves, and if they themselves said, okay, this is the like it's gone off section, like you can have it. That would be an actual solution.
Let it be as it is, cause it keeps the smell.
It's technically illegal because you're trespassing on their back garden.
I think that's probably fine, but it's a pretty grey area.
Nationwide, it must be what, 3,000 tons?
Everywhere.
Balance of water and stone is gathered as we grow older and stronger and taller.
It seems completely pointless that there's so much food being produced and then just going to waste, going to landfill, and there's so many people who are in poverty who need that food.
As a gift to follow.
On a higher level, there's supermarket waste. That's something that is a huge issue, even though they tried to say that they're only a very small part of the entire waste stream, but actually they're pushing a lot of it up and down the supply chain.
Our waste, we try to keep our waste bits as low as possible.
Well, it's demand, yeah. We try and meet that demand because people want to be able to buy everything, whatever they want, whenever they want.
Food Cycle has 4 aims: to reduce food waste, food poverty, so people can come and have a nutritious meal. So it's also encouraging social cohesion and they get fed.
In Food Cycle, what we do to try and address food waste is we work with supermarkets, smaller retailers, even some markets and outdoor markets. And what we do is we take excess food and waste food from those retailers and we go and take it, cook a meal and then serve it to multiple different people.
And we give all our wastage to Food Cycle twice a week.
Obviously fruit and vegetables, anything that's past its sell-by date but still usable.
So the food sort of we cook, but we don't know what food we're going to get from the supermarket, so we turn up and they'll have a trolley full of random food, things that we've put together things that might not go together. And yeah, you have to be creative every week.
Yeah, exactly. Or everyone together sort of throws around their ideas and like, oh, that could go with that and that could go with that.
It's a good thing that we're doing. We're not just throwing our waste straight into the bin. We're actually, it's being used in another way.
It's giving back to the community, which is very important.
It's for free.
It's for everyone.
Apart from the small amount of people working in the central office, the real strength of Food Cycle is the enormous amount of volunteer time that it can draw upon.
Well, I decided to join because it's an important issue, but also it's really good fun.
Still become all our lives. Decisions should be made not to fall in the shade. I remember her in the first row. She was staring at me so sweetly. I was sitting with my accordion, so I didn't think I was cool enough.
I don't think people realise how much food we waste.
I think people's attitude towards food should change.
As individuals, we should understand or see what's going on and make a difference.
But we also need to tell food businesses that we want them to cut their food waste too. We do have the power. They want to keep us happy, we're their customers. And if we tell them we'll be happy if they cut their food waste, they'll do it. If we tell them we don't want the cosmetic standards, they'll change their policies. If we tell them that we want them to donate surplus food at the end of the day, they'll do it. We just need to wake up and use the power that we already have.
I would just say 2 words. I'd say value food. Value food for what it's worth.
I've often wondered what could happen, but now she's gone to oblivion. I've often wondered what could happen, but now she's gone. But now she's gone. But now she's gone. I've often wondered what could happen, but now she's gone to oblivion.